beautiful afternoon here in Southern California. Rivers on the field first with the Chargers, and his receiver Keenan Allen back in the mix as Baltimore has won the toss and deferred. One of the best kickers in the NFL, Justin Tucker, set to send it away for Baltimore. Been a good return year for Desmond King, and he is back deep to receive. So the Ravens players were on the field. They all saw what you saw here on NFL Network. Watch the Titans close that game out in the fourth quarter behind Blaine Gabbert, get the victory. So Baltimore knows they have to win to keep going in their spot for that final AFC playoff position. Off we go from Carson. On a hang time on this one, and Desmond King will bring it out. And it's well covered by the Ravens. He won't get to the 20-yard line. Chris Board there to lead the special teams charge. Philip Rivers, you know, one thing about Philip Rivers, he shows up week after week after week for work. 207th consecutive start, doing it with impressive numbers this year.
Yeah, and when I talked to him a couple weeks ago, he said this is the thing he's most proud of, is that he shows up every week. He's out there battling with his guys, and that's what he wants to be remembered as, a great teammate.
As has been the case often here this year, the Chargers will have to fight some noise to a lot of Ravens fans in the house. Opening drive starts in the 17, and Rivers right away shot down the sideline, and it is pulled away. Let's see if it's an interception for Brandon Carr. It is. Carr comes up with the interception on the game's first play, intended for Mike Williams. We'll take a look at the action on the sideline.
Take a look here. What a great job by Carr to go up, and a little hand fighting. Tough to beat Mike Williams with that strength, but you see him pull it away, get both feet down. That's a great play by Carr.
Philip Rivers, I mentioned his consecutive number of starts, the most in the NFL at 207. Brandon Carr, the corner, making his 175th consecutive start. Once he gets possession, the 2 feet, then the right elbow comes down. So it's all good. It's a pick, and the Ravens will take over at the 48-yard line of Los Angeles.
And this Ravens defense has been so great all year, Mike, but the one thing they haven't done is get takeaways. As we see right, they're only 11 coming into the year, but if you can add takeaways to everything else they do, really tough defense to score on.
All right, so here he comes, the running sensation, Lamar Jackson, first-round pick out of Louisville. And the rookie will give to Gus Edwards, inside run. The Gus bus opens the game inside the 20 to the 8-yard line. 44 yards on the opening play for the Ravens and the undrafted free agent Edwards.
When we talk a lot about Lamar Jackson, but the other great story is number 35, Gus Edwards, and he is a downhill type guy. There was no read on that one for Lamar Jackson. We're just going to give it and run the big guy through the tackles, and that's going to be the question all night long. This smaller Chargers defense, are they going to be able to hold up against the power running of Gus Edwards and this Ravens team?
Officially a gain of 43. Kenneth Dixon is the back, and he will take and run inside, just shy of the 5-yard line. So this is start number 6 for Lamar Jackson. Last pick taken in the first round, won the Heisman the year before he left Louisville. 4-1 as a starter, and what he has done is really landmark. He has taken an offense that was the most pass-heavy when Joe Flacco was the QB, and it's become the most run-heavy offense in the NFL within the same season.
And almost unprecedented, right? But the thing is they continue to do it week in and week out. You worry about this guy's health, but he does a great job of avoiding those big hits.
Dixon in the back, second and goal. It's a read and a keep, and no gain for Jackson as he's pulled down by Melvin Ingram, the Pro Bowl defensive lineman.
This is going to be a challenge all night long for these defensive end linebackers. You see Melvin Ingram right here as they try to run this in a little bit of a read. He doesn't bite on it, does a nice job of making that tackle on Lamar Jackson in space.
Charger fans heard from here at home. Third and goal. The back is Dixon. He loves 83, Willie Snead. Jackson will go the other way. Look at end zone for Crabtree. Could not pull it down. Michael Davis on the coverage of Michael Crabtree. And it's fourth down.
And you're just going to see one-on-one, right? Just the quick fade to Crabtree right here. And Michael Davis, nice job. The ball thrown up, a little push there at the end, getting his hand in to knock that football away at the last second.
In this run-heavy offense, players like Crabtree have not been involved as much, targeted only once last week. Doesn't come up with the red zone catch here. Justin Tucker, as good as it gets in this business. A 24-yard field goal attempt out of the hold of the punter, Sam Cook. And Tucker bangs it through, and 2 minutes, 17 seconds in. Ravens on the board, thanks to the interception from the veteran Brandon Carr. Gives it to him with a short field. The Ravens up 3. Much like last week against Kansas City, slow start for Philip Rivers.
And he's going to wish that he had that throwback. You're going to see at the top of your screen, it's Mike Williams against Brandon Carr. And as he gets past him, look at the separation there. If Philip Rivers just lays this out, that is a big play, but he leaves it a little bit short. Brandon Carr is able to get back into the play, and as we said earlier, made a great pick.
And comes up with his 21st career interception, and one in week 1 of this year. So the two guys with the most consecutive starts currently in the NFL, involved in the very opening play of this one. The Gus Edwards 43-yard run leading to the Tucker field goal. It's more of a line drive kick, but will not be returned. It's a touchback. Chargers will take over at the 25. Chargers lost the opener to Kansas City, lost game 3 in the Battle of LA to the Rams. But then, after the defense had allowed 31 on average those first 3 games, things got rolling. 6-game win streak, climbing the AFC standings. Dropped 1 to Denver, but then come back winning their last 4, including primetime comebacks against the Steelers and Chiefs that have made the Chargers this week's buzz team. Since last Thursday night when Joe and Troy called the game on Fox and NFL Network, everybody's been talking about, hey, are the Chargers the #1 team? Are they the team to beat in the Super Bowl? Well, still got a long way to go here, including trying to get the #1 seed. From the 25, Melvin Gordon, welcome back to the lineup. A gain of 6 for Gordon. It's the last 3 of the sprained MCL that happened 27 days ago against the Cardinals. So this offense has been very good throughout the year. You've come used to that over the years with Rivers. Not an all-star offensive line, some greater than the individual pieces, but Mike Pouncey is a Pro Bowler for your former head coach, Ken Whisenhunt, who has some terrific weapons to work with on the outside.
He does. One of his most versatile offenses because of all these guys being interchangeable parts.
For Rivers, 2nd and 5. First look covered. Virgil Green, the tight end, not going to go too far. Gain of only 3. Patrick Owasso makes it 3rd down coming up for this Baltimore defense. What else is new? Baltimore's defense really darn good. They're the toughest to score on. They're the toughest to move it on. And you continue to watch Terrell Suggs as he plays at a high level in year number 16 in the NFL.
They've been known for their great defensive leaders, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and now the next guy in line is T. Sizzle or T. Suggs, and doing a great job of leading this young group of defense.
That's what Wink Martindale, Don Martindale, the defensive coordinator, has to deal with. Melvin Gordon in motion as a receiver as Rivers throws for Keenan Allen, incomplete. Allen starting to turn the other way. Buzzing down was the nickel, Tavon Young, and it's 3 and out for the Chargers.
Keenan Allen just going to come across on a shallow route here, and almost looked like he was blocked from Philip Rivers as he's coming over here. He's looking to sit it down or whether he should run across, and Philip Rivers expected him to keep going. A little miscommunication right there.
Donnie Jones was the punter for the Super Bowl champion Eagles. Thought his career might have been done. Came back when they had a need for a punter here. And the lefty kicks it away to Cyrus Jones. Fair caught, kick of 40, and the Ravens will take over at their own 28. Drive number 2. It was the Chargers and the Ravens off to a fast start this Saturday night in Carson. Although eliminated by the Tennessee win earlier, we got to see the excitement of Baker Mayfield, the 2017 Heisman winner last Saturday night, and Lamar Jackson tonight. Different styles of players, but a similar impact on their NFL teams here in the rookie seasons.
You're right, different styles of players and different ways to lead, but it was great to sit down with Lamar Jackson and feel his energy. It's exactly what everybody said about Baker. Steps into a room, he's got great energy. You could feel that yesterday when we met with Lamar Jackson.
Everyone effusive in their praise of the 6'2" quarterback from Louisville. His drive starts at the Raven 28, and here is Jackson going up top. Check it down to Kenneth Dixon. Nice move by Dixon. A gain of 8 before Hayes Blard pulls him down. Actually, they give him 9 yards on that one. So what has he done to this offense? 1,152 rushing yards in the last 5 games. Arizona has 1,153 for the whole season. They're the first team since the Steelers 4+ decades ago to run for over 190 yards in 5 straight games. They're averaging just under 240 on the ground a game since he's been the starter. Looking to throw here, and it's complete. They use a lot of tight ends, including Hayden Hurst, and the rookie takes it into Chargers territory at the 45-yard line, a first down.
And you're going to see a lot of this with Lamar Jackson, right? Run pass options. We make the play fake here. We're going to make it out to the right-hand side. Bring those tight ends across, but if nobody covers him, he can turn and run. Nice job making that catch. Going down to get it by Hurst.
Hurst had a foot injury, missed the first 4 games, but he's come on. 3 catches last week, now 11 on his rookie season. He was drafted 7 spots ahead of Lamar Jackson in the first round this year. Undrafted rookie Gus Edwards back in the game. He had the 43-yard run earlier. That's another big chunk here with a gain of 8. Kurt, it's the deception that the Ravens have. You start running around trying to cover everything, and there's another guy just running up the middle here for 8 yards.
Well, you mentioned it. They use 3 tight ends very well. You'll see the tight end shift from one side to the other, change the strength. You'll see jet sweeps off of it. You'll see motions with wide receivers, all trying to get the defense just to take that one false step to give us angles, and then they read that one guy who it's tough for him to be right and guess whether he's giving it, or you got to be ready for number 8 out on the edge.
A good look at Joey Bosa. He and Melvin Ingram on the ends trying to keep it all inside. Jackson reads it, throws it complete, and John Brown has the first down to the 27-yard line. The former Arizona Cardinal with the reception.
You'll see a few of these RPOs as well, right? We're going to read linebacker right here. If he moves a little bit, now we're going to read the double slants on the outside. Doesn't have the first one. Nice job getting to the second one with John Brown.
And Kurt, when you look at that replay that you just showed us in the end zone, not that you were running the machine showing the replay, but you see 31 and 33 down there. That's your point. They have defensive backs by trade, very talented, but those guys play in near, and they're going to be involved in run defense throughout the night. Can they hold up for 4 quarters? Jackson lost the ball on the mesh with Edwards, and it's a big loss. Back to the 36-yard line. It'll be a loss of about 9. Adrian Phillips, one of those DBs by trade who's involved in a lot of snaps on the stop.
And if there's one knock on Lamar Jackson, this is what it's been early in his career, is that as they do some of these mesh point plays where he's reading it, they've had a number of fumbles. This team just can't get behind the sticks. As long as they stay ahead of the sticks, they've been very, very effective.
It's another game with a fumble. That's NFL history, tying Andrew Luck from his first season, and 10 fumbles on the year for Jackson. He's lost 3 of them. Second and 18, they'll throw. Ingram trying to get around the edge, gets pulled down as Jackson goes end zone, incomplete. Intended for John Brown. It'll be 3rd down.
And this is just not where they want to be, right? They want to be in short yardage situations where they always have the run pass option. As Lamar continues to get better, they say, hey, he can make all the reads, he can make all the throws, but as we've seen early on, just not quite patient enough, not seeing the entire field. So they like it better when he can just dump the ball off or take these short throws and not have to push it down the field.
Ty Montgomery active this week, the former Packer in the game for 3rd and long. In Tucker's field goal range, Jackson tries to step up. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more. Uchenna Nwosu goes in to make the play. The rookie out of USC forces the long field goal attempt.
This is what you're always going to get, right? When you have to hold the ball a long time, you give those pass rushers a chance to get an angle. Nice job by Nwosu on the spin and be able to get number 8 down, because he can be dangerous when he runs too, but you want him holding the football back there and have to throw the ball down the field.
I brought Kurt Warner down to the field to watch Justin Tucker up close because I want Kurt to feel great about a kicker. This is the gold standard in the league. He's 4 from 4 from over 50 this year. This one from 53. Wide left. Rare to see him miss like that. The first miss this year that was not blocked. 3-0 Ravens. Check out tonight's key performers presented by Gatorade. Watching an interesting quarterback duel. It's going to be more the running yards for Lamar Jackson as the night goes on. If it's a normal night, Rivers off to the slow early start. One to his guys, one to the other guys. Our spotter in the booth is Mike Black, who is a terrific kicker in the arena days. As a matter of fact, he kicked with Kurt Warner on his Iowa Barnstormer teams. And Mike told me, and we watched that, an aggressive plant and a little slip by Tucker, as you can see right there at the back end. The reason he missed that so poorly, so rare. He's made his last 10 from 50 or more. But he misses that one, and the Chargers take over at the 43, and there's Horton inside for a run of about 3 yards. What does it mean to get him back in this lineup after 3 games out?
Well, man, he's such a difference maker, right? When you're a team that likes to throw the football, to have a guy that's dangerous out of the backfield, to have a guy that can allow you to do play action. But this team, this offense, even though they've won some games recently with him not in the lineup, they play the game differently when he's not there, and they throw it a lot more. So this allows them to get back to the balance we heard so much about, Mike.
Hey,
Leads his team 13 touchdowns.
Set.
Launch to the left, 2nd and 7. And Rivers just dumps it down. Gordon in space. Stiff arm gets rid of Brandon Carr, with the rest of the Ravens rally to the ball and limit the gain to just 3.
Nice
Terrell Suggs coming over
by Brandon Carr. As a little stiff arm, I thought there was a little bit of space for Gordon, but once again, we saw him slip on the turf as he was trying to make that second move, and then the rallying of the troops got there.
And we were both down there before the game. It is a little slick.
And there's some
on
pockets,
the field.
and some pockets there too. So you can see it even from up here, that not all green across the board. Some slick spots.
This is 3rd and 4 for Rivers. Justin Jackson, the rookie 7th-round pick out of Northwestern, who had such a good couple of games when Gordon was out. In the lineup, picking up the pressure, giving Rivers time to fire into coverage. Coming back to get it is Keenan Allen, but a flag. Keenan Allen was involved with Brandon Carr. It's going to be pass interference on Allen. This play will come back. You see Rivers trying to negotiate. Clete Blakeman, the referee.
And such great rapport between these two guys.
Offense.
You can see just a little bit of a bit of a push there at the top, but man, I'm not so sure. I think it was more the slip that may have caused the penalty there.
And again, now it's 3 snaps here in the first 9 minutes or so where we've seen the slick field impact the players. It has not rained out here in the last few days. The Rivers is trying to get Clete Blakeman to look up. You know, that's Philip Rivers. How often have we seen that? And that's his competitiveness and his passion is unchanged. Going back to his days at North Carolina State 18 years ago, this is the way Rivers always has been.
And Anthony Lynn talking about when this guy came in, the emotions of his quarterback. I said, I'm not used to that, but he's gotten used to it very quickly.
3rd and 14, Williams untouched, rolls to the 32-yard line. There was pressure from Eric Weddle, the safeties, great friends and former teammates with Rivers. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. It might be against the Chargers again.
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 13 was never set after the huddle. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
They say Keenan Allen not set erases the big game.
And you're going to see Keenan Allen at the top of your screen, and he's still barking at the officials up here. See how he's not set when the ball is snapped. That gets the penalty.
Wow.
But you also see the big playability of Mike Williams. We saw it last week. A different confidence for him. But, man, what a costly penalty.
Great pickup. He's barking about the flag he didn't get. 27 and 28-yard gains negated. And that screen aborted as Justin Jackson was covered. And the pressure was coming in on Rivers. So a drive of what might have been will lead to a punt.
You're going to see the pressure. This is going to be something that Philip Rivers has to deal with all night long. And Smith there right in his face, just had to throw that one away. Couldn't hold it to allow his back to get open on the screen.
Don Jones kicks it away. Fair caught back at the 18-yard line by Cyrus Jones. Clete Blakeman used to be a quarterback in Nebraska. Come on, quarterback to quarterback. There's no way, pal. Tonight's aerial coverage is presented by State Farm. The Ravens get set for their 3rd drive, leading 3-0. While we were away, Philip Rivers didn't go away, kept complaining about the call. Did it ever help you get the next call?
You know, I can't say for sure, but I really felt like it did numerous times when I was on those officials early in the game.
From the 17, first down roll, Kenneth Dixon inside for about 5 yards. Peter Schrager's down on that sideline. Peter?
Mike, what you didn't see is Anthony Lynn sliding in, telling Rivers, it's all good. Go back to the bench. I got it. And Anthony Lynn in a very calm, soothing presence, telling Rivers it's going to be all right. Talking to the official, saying, okay, let's get back out here. You know, everyone asks, what's Anthony Lynn do if Ken Whisenhunt does the offense and Gus Bradley does the defense? This is a perfect example. Anthony Lynn, the soothing presence, talking to the official, saying, hey, Phillip, go get focused on the game.
That's the way he is. Turned 50 yesterday. Timeout here for a moment. This ball needs to be placed back on the hash, and we will get going with a fresh play clock at the 22-yard line. And the play clock's important. The Ravens bleed time. In addition to all this running, they keep the ball away from your offense the last 5 weeks. Dixon to the right. They set up third and short. Exactly what these guys want. Adrian Phillips, who is Pro Bowl bound, makes the tackle.
An amazing number, Mike. On 3rd and 4 or less, they convert 79% of their third downs from that down and distance. I mean, it's incredible, but it opens up the ability to not have to throw. And if there's one team in the league that will run, even in longer, short yardage situations, but 3rd, 3 and 4, it's the Ravens.
That's right. In a world of 3rd and 1 and people are empty, no backs, spread them out, the Ravens have lined up and run. They'll let the quarterback do the damage right there. Jackson a first down, accelerates, shooting down the sideline. Jackson into Chargers territory, across midfield to the 48-yard line. A pickup of 27, and that's what he does. He just takes a little opening and makes it a big game.
He does, and he hasn't got a lot of these big plays in the run game up to this point. He's been waiting for it. Nice job with the kick out right there. You see Boyle making the block, and then he is so dangerous. He's a different speed, and he can change directions on a dime.
And with that run, Lamar Jackson getting closer to 600 rushing yards on the year. And obviously his career extra tight end comes in, Bradley Bozeman. Gus Edwards slips and falls. They really was touched. So it's going to be a loss of a yard. So with this running in 15 games, Lamar Jackson has passed Phillip Rivers for career rushing yardage. 211 games for Phillip and 15 for Lamar.
You're going to do Phillip like that?
No,
early in the game.
It's different with the ability to throw. James Hurst is down for the Ravens. Concern for their offensive lineman who slipped as well. So as they look at him, we're back in 30 after this message from the U.S. Army. We saw Bradley Bozeman out there on that play as an extra lineman. He played 28 snaps last week for James Hurst, who started the season at right tackle. Had a back injury, which opened the door for Orlando Brown Jr. to come in and solidify the right tackle spot for the Ravens. And now Hurst injured here, and he'll come to the sideline.
It appeared as if it was another slip by Gus Edwards as he was trying to make the cut. He slipped and fell right on the ankle of Hurst there. Going to see it right here as he goes down right up on the ankle of Hurst before he bounces back up.
And that was carry number 114 for Edwards, and the first time he's lost yardage on a carry, albeit just 1 yard. So second now and 11. And Jackson checks it down to Dixon. And the former, good run by Dixon. Gets it close to the 38-yard line. I thought he was stopped there. Derwin James, who doesn't miss many tackles, couldn't bring him down.
And good patience by Lamar Jackson to kick it out to his check down. But you see, both of these backs are really tough to take down when you're in a one-on-one situation. Strong and a little bit of wiggle by Dixon.
The third-year man out of Louisiana Tech kept that going and gets a first down. You're inside of 2 minutes here. In this opening quarter, Ravens leading the Chargers 3-0. Two teams have come in very hot. Jackson, trouble with that snap as well. Brings it down, slings it to Edwards. And Gus Edwards with a first down, a gain of 13. Just that little flick by Lamar.
I'll tell you what he's done nice tonight is he's not forcing the ball down the field. He's got a couple shots here. They're going to release the tight end here, and the other tight end coming across. Neither guy open on those situations, just dumps it down to Edwards. But we've seen that 3 or 4 times tonight, going through his progressions, not trying to force it, just dump it off and get some yards.
Jackson is 5 of 7, struggled passing in the first quarter last week. Keeping here, chased by Phillips, who didn't get to him, but finally the rest of the Chargers are there as he is stopped and slides. Jatavis Brown coming over for the stops. We're in this final minute. Chance to remind you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Playoff picture continues to take shape, and the guys will get you ready for Sunday's biggest matchups, NFL Game Day morning on NFL Network.
You talked about the smaller lineup of the Chargers. That's one benefit that it can give you when you have a dime or a defensive back there in the box to be able to chase down Lamar Jackson out in space.
Jackson keeps, tries to spin and pivot, and that speed you talked about with Phillips and Jatavis Brown again combining will set up a 3rd and long as we start the second quarter. First play was a turnover by the Chargers. It led to a Ravens field goal, and that's all the score. After 1 at StubHub Center in Carson, 3-0 Ravens. Of course, the move north from San Diego to the Chargers in L.A., and where better to be present with the Lightning Bolts than down at L.A. Live right by Staples Center, and the ice that they put down for the holiday season around the tree. Full moon here in Los Angeles on the Saturday before Christmas. Second quarter begins. The Ravens controlling that first quarter. 3rd and 9. Ty Montgomery the back. And Jackson steps away, steps into it, complete for the first down. Mark Andrews to the 9-yard line. This terrific rookie class includes the 3rd rounder from Oklahoma who moves the chains.
And you're going to see Mark Andrews just working the middle of the field, finding an opening. There's a linebacker there. Just keep finding, keep moving. Create an opening for your quarterback to find you. And Lamar Jackson, great job there. Bosa was all over him, stepping up hard in the pocket, keeping your eyes down the field and making the throw.
Well, those are the questions we have. 3rd and 9. Can he make the plays? Gain of 15. This has been the best throwing stretch we've seen in the first 5+ games for Lamar Jackson. 6 of 8, as you see, for 76 yards. It's inside the 10, so it's 1st and goal. They're going to throw on 1st and goal. Jackson escapes. He sprints out of bounds inside the 5. That's one of the things that he has become very adept at. He doesn't take a straight shot. He knows how to duck out of bounds and keep his body whole.
Well, that's the big question, right? Can you continue to do this sort of stuff when you're going to run the football and he's going to tuck it and have all of these touches? But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to avoid the hits. And that's what I was asking him. I'm like, are you worried about that? He goes, well, I haven't really taken that many big hits yet, because he's so quick and so smart at figuring out ways to get down or get out of bounds.
And he's great there when he's outside the pocket, right about to run that little fake throw to freeze the defenders. The 5, it's Edwards. Bang it inside for about a yard. Ball stopped there, and we'll have 3rd and goal coming up. Melvin Ingram with the tackle.
It's always the spot on the field where it's so difficult when you have a running quarterback, right? You're selling out to be able to stop those runs between the tackles, but everybody's selling out, everybody biting down to make sure there's not any gaps in between the tackles. It makes it really dangerous when you have a running quarterback that can get on the edge.
To run with Dixon, seeking space. Not going to get there. Brandon Meadbane, who has been away from this team for the last month, tending to his infant daughter, who's had significant medical issues, returns tonight, and the captain makes a big play inside.
Well, huge to have him back for so many different reasons, right? Great for the locker room, a great leader, but he gives them a little bit bigger punch in between the tackles, something that they've been missing with the smaller lineup.
I'll give you more on the Meadbane story in a bit, but right now we have 4th and goal at the 3, and for the moment, the Ravens keep their offense out here. Fake to Dixon. Jackson's going to throw it to the pylon, incomplete. He tried to get it to Michael Crabtree. Flag is down there late, and it's going to be on the Ravens.
Pass interference, offense. Penalties in line. On the play is first down, Los Angeles.
See Michael Crabtree right here.
Very incidental contact. Well handed off by the Chargers. It'll be LA ball when we come back.
And we're back with the Ravens holding on to the 3-0 lead. And you'll see that fourth down play. You see it right there from that angle. The reach with the right hand by Crabtree, pushing off on Hayward. That's what got the call.
And Dean Blandino in the studio in Los Angeles down the road agrees that it was a proper call. So the Chargers backed up inside their own 5, a 2-yard run from Melvin Gordon. And let's just get back to the bigger stuff here. Ravens are dominating the game. You see some of the numbers early on. Yet that decision by John Harbaugh to go for it on fourth down instead of taking a 6-0 lead.
Right, and I think to myself, well, you take 3 right there, right? You're dominating time of possession, you're moving the football, but you know they're built on their defense, and they're saying to themselves, hey, let's go for it, try to get a 2-score lead, because we believe our defense will hold them from making that long trek to the end zone.
3 drives, no first down so far for the Chargers. 2nd and 8, Rivers out of his own end zone. First down for the first time. It's Virgil Green, the tight end who was drafted by the Broncos, spent his first 7 years in the Rockies, and now stayed in the division and plays for the Chargers.
Not a guy they throw to a lot. You know, one of the better blocking tight ends in the league. But when you see them wanting to throw the football, a lot of times they're going to put number 85, Gates, inside there. But every once in a while you change it up. Nice play by Philip Rivers to get the ball out of there.
Antonio Gates still going. He's got 25 receptions at age 38. Plays more of a key spot role than the star role that he did for most of the last decade. Here's Rivers. Speed of Travis Benjamin. On the edge. Back-to-back first downs. On back-to-back snaps of the Chargers. Zadarius Smith escorts him to the sideline.
And you love these if you're a quarterback, right? It's all about speed. You can see him come from the left-hand side, but we call it ghost motion. And Phillips just looking to see if that outside linebacker holds to the inside. If he does, put it to number 12 and let him use his speed.
So you tell me the ghost is alive.
The ghost is alive.
To the 25 back-to-back first downs. For this Chargers team, 11-3. Won 10 of their last 11. Gordon shields his body, takes the ball, and Eric Weddle's buzzing from the back for the gain of 3. This is such a cool story tonight. It's Philip Rivers against Eric Weddle. It's not just former teammates going head-to-head. It's guys who, after every practice period when they were together with the Chargers, what'd you see? Hey, what did you see? How would a safety react to this? How would a quarterback react to this? They shared so many of their deep football thoughts, have maintained a fabulous friendship. Weddle's acrimonious departure from the then San Diego Chargers has been much discussed, but they are so excited to compete against each other here tonight. Toss, Gordon. Not much. Big hit, C.J. Mosley going back to the Pro Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years. Well, Eric Weddle's career stats include his wonderful 9 years with the Chargers, 19 picks to 3 Pro Bowls, and afterwards he tweeted out, SD up next. There's that sensitivity to it. No, it's the LA Chargers. Weddle is from the San Diego area. He told me on the phone this week that if the game was back in San Diego and it was the year after the departure, maybe it would feel a little more emotional. I still think he was kind of pulling my chain. I think it's emotional for him to see Rivers and the Chargers. 3rd and 5. Phillip in trouble. Underneath. Keenan Allen slips and falls as a first down, but there's a flag down. Back by the quarterback. Here's Clete Blakeman again.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. We play 3rd down.
Shalo Kuhn, the left tackle.
Let's say him here on the left side. As he's setting up, you see a hog ties him around the neck right there. Easy call right in front of the official.
You got to hold Matthew Judon, number 99, is tied for the team lead in sacks. 3 players have 7 sacks. See those 3 flags, Kurt, on the Chargers. All 3 have negated a first down.
Yeah, you're right. Big plays, moving the chains, which are so vital in a game like this.
Justin Jackson in the back. You saw Weddle sprinting out of there. Jackson doesn't catch it. And the Ravens, after a couple of first downs, will force Los Angeles to punt.
We're talking a lot about this Rivers-Weddle battle, and you see him right down here. He's down in the box, almost on the line of scrimmage, and then at the snap, he's going to run back to the middle of the field, and that's going to be the cat and mouse game all night long. As Eric Weddle is going to try to confuse Philip Rivers and hold it to the last second. Can Philip Rivers take advantage of them rotating late? That time, not much of a chance.
Donnie Jones kicks to the unrelated Cyrus Jones. Punt is 47. Cyrus in the 33. Made a man miss. Look out. Cyrus Jones with speed. Trying to pick up blocks. And at midfield, he will give Baltimore very good field position. Jeremy Davis made the tackle. The Ravens controlling the game. Have the ball in a good spot.
This NFL Network special is brought to you by the Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 2nd.
It's year 2 for the Chargers at this stadium that was built 15 years ago for the LA Galaxy soccer team. Of course, the Chargers, along with the Rams, will move to the LA Stadium over in Hollywood Park for 2020. Such a unique setting. 27,000 fans. Lighted up the Christmas sweaters on. Maybe they were inspired when they saw you wearing that on the air last week. Ravens take over at the 48. They've had good field position. They've controlled the game. Only lead by 3. As Gus Edwards hops through the hole to the 42-yard line. First down run of about 5.
As a quarterback, there's nothing you like more than a running back that never loses yards. Guys that continue to move forward and keep you ahead of the chains. You feel like any down and distance, we can hand the ball to them, and we're going to be in a favorable spot on the next down.
Edwards had a 43-yard carry to start this game. He's 5 for 57 so far. Born in Staten Island, rookie, undrafted out of Rutgers, slips and trips and stumbles forward. Gains a couple, doesn't even lose yards when he falls down. It's third, a couple coming up.
Almost looked like Lamar Jackson came out of there a little quick and maybe tripped his running back. But as you said, stumbled forward, and now once again in a nice favorable situation. Third and less than 4. They've been very effective all year long.
Great eyes on that. Kurt, he caught his heel. Ravens had an extra lineman again. Send Chris Moore in motion. They give Edwards the ball. Let's see what they do if this is marked, as it looks to be, a half-yard short of the first down. And it is.
You can see right here, DeRosu sinking down, not able to get the angle, takes on the block right there. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Manuel coming from the backside.
They put Bozeman in there. Interesting here on 4th and short. They spread it out a little bit, get some guys out of the box, and Jackson's going to run it. He just tries to break the plane like it's Drew Brees at the goal line. Melvin Ingram says, I'm going to make you pay for that. But he's got the first down as the drive stays alive.
It's a smart move, right? You get there, you get close, reach over, because all you got to do is get it across that line. Forward progress. He looks for it, tucks it back in, and protects the football.
He's looking over for the line, too. The down marker.
Isn't it amazing the speed of this game, that guys have the wherewithal to be able to do that in a 3 or 4 second play?
I swear, you're watching, you almost feel like the guys can see the line. It's not on the field, but on TV. From the 38, Dixon to the right, he is met and stuck and hit hard by Kyle Emanuel. You know, these linebackers haven't had a chance to play much, given the opponents and the way the Chargers have been playing. Emanuel takes the most of his opportunity.
And we wondered coming in if they would stay with their dime and nickel package, which they've been in a lot recently, or if some of these linebackers who hadn't played a whole lot would be in the middle of the fray, knowing that the Ravens are going to continually try to pound the ball between the tackles.
There's Gus Bradley, second year here as the defensive coordinator, 4 years as the Jacksonville head coach. I wish I could have sold tickets to Kurt and Gus Bradley talking ball yesterday. Oh, man, it was good stuff. Jackson hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. John Brown was just fighting it off, making sure Michael Davis didn't come away with the pick. But the pressure took care of anything here.
You did. You look pressure in your face, but love to see Lamar Jackson be able to lay this out in front. See the pressure as it's coming. but the ball just left a little bit behind him. He's got all that space outside the numbers. Just lay the football and allow your speed guy to go get it.
Darius Philon brought the heat inside. A really good job by John Brown to play defensive back. He knew that could have been picked. Ravens a bit confused here in alignment, and Jackson takes a timeout. So inside of 5 left in this one. This is the second game here on this NFL Network Saturday night doubleheader. Significant games come your way tomorrow. So many games have playoff implications. The game in the late window tomorrow afternoon with the Steelers and the Saints, and the game tomorrow night with the Chiefs, so intertwined with the Chargers going to Seattle, affect both of these teams in a big way because they're the teams they're trying to chase in these respective divisions.
It's like it's Christmas. Well, it is Christmas, but it's like it's Christmas in the NFL, right? This is the time of year that you love because every game matters.
Couldn't agree more. Third and 12. And they're going to run, and Dixon's going to get the first down and more. Inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So 3rd and 12, and they're running between the tackles. That's why this offense is so unique and different. Gain of 20.
How often do you see this? Guys running between the tackles on 3rd and long, but we're going to talk about it all night long. This offense is different. They believe in their running game, and again, sometimes it's about field goals, not necessarily touchdowns. I'm not sure they called that play to get the first down, get us 5 or 6, and give Justin Tucker another shot at it.
It just totally changes your mindset towards so many things. Look at the dominance on the ground, but they only lead by 3. Back in the red zone here. It's Edwards to the right. Nothing doing. Tag is made by Michael Davis coming in off that corner. Now, the principles, Kurt, they're not the principles of the military academies in college football, but when you talk to folks, I felt like I was getting ready for Notre Dame against Navy, because you're hearing about all the different things we have to do because the Ravens do so many different things in the run game.
Well, and it's fascinating when you talk to the coaching staff, because you have this appearance and you think, oh, they're doing so many crazy things, and they said, hey, these are run plays we've had in from training camp.
Right.
We just dress it up a little bit with all the movements.
Like Ty Montgomery coming for the fake. Jackson throws incomplete. It is intended for Brown again. Peter Schrager, well, you were right there with us. Those conversations about this dynamic run game for the Ravens.
Mike, Kurt, what's so fascinating is 31 other teams seem to be going in the direction of high-flying, big offenses. The Ravens think they have an advantage and an edge here because if we run an offense that no one else sees and no one else prepares for week to week, and it's completely different than the 31 other teams, well, then that's our edge right there. And then you get to the draft board and you get to the kind of players they want. It's a different team in a league of 31 others.
Yeah, it might go from necessity to philosophy for Baltimore. 3rd and 10. Jackson designed run. He's going to get hit here. The gain will be 3. Well read by Adrian Phillips. 4th-year man out of Texas was all over that. We'll get a field goal attempt with about 35 yards coming up.
A fascinating thought process there, as Peter was saying, that they start looking at it and say, hey, if we're going to go this way, we got to go all out this way. But now you start thinking about everything differently, the personnel, how you attack people, how you go about the draft, something that I don't think a lot of people were thinking about when they saw this offense for the first time.
Not for a second. The rare miss earlier from Tucker from 53. Watch his plant foot on this one from 35. Steadier and able to knock it through. Dominating the game, but leading only by 6. Not too far from downtown Los Angeles on this Saturday before Christmas. Great Hall of Famer Dan Fouts was the Chargers all-time record holder for all those passing categories until Philip Rivers' long run here, but still his greatness talked about so many years. And Dan's been so classy as Philip has gone past those marks over the years. Two of my favorite guys to listen to, Fauci and Ian Eagle. They will be calling Houston and Philly. One of the very important games on the docket coming up tomorrow. Here it is 6-0 Ravens, and the Chargers offense is getting itchy. Desmond King on the return. This Ravens special teams unit giving them nowhere to go. Going to bring them down at the 23-yard line. Let me read this card here. It says it's one of the best morning shows in sports and stars Peter Schrager. Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt also appearing. That's exactly what it says here. Good Morning Football, 7 a.m. Eastern, weekdays on NFL Network. Peter?
It's a good show. It's a good show, guys.
Did he slip you a 20 to put his
I'm telling you, hey, Mike, it's a great show.
I don't know who wrote the card, but it said right here, starring Peter Schrager.
You might want to try it. It's a good show.
See it whited out where his name was, and they put it back to the front of the list.
We love hanging with you guys in the morning, Kay, Nate, and Kyle, of course, this week. As we get close to week 17, they'll have you covered. All right, Rivers back to work, and they stay on the field. Justin Jackson made a man miss, chased down after a gain of about 8 yards. All right, Kurt Warner, you put your quarterback shoes on. You're Phillip Rivers. That was the 14th play you've run. It has been a tough night to get started. We do have a Ravens stay down, so let's hang on a second. On that play, Michael Pierce, who sprinted to chase down the receiver, Jackson, stays down. So as he does, we'll be back to all this in 30 seconds. After this from Nationwide. Michael Pierce walks off under his own power. So what's it like for Rivers having to sit and wait and watch?
I talked to him this week about that. Are you conscious of what's happening on the other side when your defense is out there, how many plays you're going to get? And the key is not pressing in these situations, right? You're only down 6 points here, so you don't have to press and try to make every play knowing you're not going to get a lot of possessions.
After the gain of 8, 2nd and 2, and Rivers slings it complete. Keenan Allen the first down. He crawls to the 40-yard line, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning with just 14 snaps for Rivers and the Chargers so far. They're only down 6, as Kurt said, trying to drive down the field and take the lead to the locker room. Chris Rose, Steve Smith Sr., Michael Irvin, LaDainian Tomlinson standing by for the Lexus halftime report. Talking about this matchup you're seeing on the field right now. Chargers offense against the Ravens defense, and peek ahead with a terrific slate of 13 games tomorrow.
Hey, let's take it. Let's stay down. Let's stay down. Double chip outside.
Last 2 minutes, no challenges by the teams. It's Rivers slinging underneath, and Jackson with the catch, and the rookie takes it to the 43 with Marlon Humphrey making the tackle.
Phillip Rivers understands you don't have to press the ball down the field, right? If nothing else, just 3 points in this situation. Not way out in front of you, but you got to be anxious as a quarterback, right? You haven't had a chance to do much and make any big plays. You want to change the complexion with one big throw. A nice job there by Phillip, just checking it out.
Well, exchange with the receivers up there in the slot. It looked like it was movement up front that will kill this play. Moving clock inside of 2, so the official on this side in conversation with the Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn, and his options to use a timeout here, save some time. So it's either take the timeout, save the 10 seconds, or the 10-second runoff. And people are wondering why it's taking so long. It's the conversation that's going on with the internal communication of the officials here.
Offense number 75. This situation requires a 10-second runoff. We set the game clock to 1 minute 19 seconds. 1 minute 19.
Michael Schofield called for the infraction, and Lynn chooses to take the 10 seconds. Preserve the timeout, so they still have 3. Man at 2nd and 10. Ravens defense, again, #1 in the league in points allowed, #1 in the league in yards allowed. And the Chargers struggling offensively against them here tonight. Rivers, the open window for Keenan Allen, just shy of the first down at the 49. Oh, they're going to give it to him and move the chains. Interesting.
Just a quick little slant right here. Able to jump inside. Humphrey, nice throw by Phillip Rivers right between the numbers.
And they're going to kill this. I wonder if they're going to look at the spot in replay. They will. They will. So the line to gain was right on the 49-yard line. And they'll take a peek to see if the ball was there when Allen was touched down. You could see contact was immediately made by the DB. As Anthony Lynn negotiates. Replay both here in Los Angeles and New York will look, and we'll be back after these messages from Gatorade and Verizon. And a pleasure to bring in Dean Blandino. Dean, do you think that was short of the line to gain?
I do, yeah. They're going to look at whether it was a catch, which it did look like he caught it. But the line of game was the 49. You can see Allen's clearly short at the 48. So they'll bring it back and make it third down.
All right, Dean, thank you. And Cleve Blakeman's been looking at that. They're trying to figure out where to put the chains as well. They've got to move the chains back because they moved them forward for the first down. So that's why this one will take a minute or so to get all settled. 55 seconds left here, and Anthony Lynn's being informed of that. And remember, it was in the middle of the field and the clock was running when that happened too. So there's another factor to that when you go to replay with a running clock as well.
But the little break helps you regardless of what the call is. You can get your play called and be ready to go. So if they do move it back and start that clock going, that you're able to have your play and get going.
Going to let Cleve Blakeman make his call first. Well, while he's waiting, Dean Blandino, let me bring you back in because of where that happened in the field. It impacts the clock for the second straight play for the Chargers.
Yeah, so anytime they reverse the call, they're going to reset the clock. And they're discussing, because we're inside of 2 minutes, remember, we just had the 10-second runoff. So now they're discussing another potential 10-second runoff.
Wow.
And do we want to take a timeout? So a lot of factors to consider here.
Think back last year, the end of a game in Detroit where a review happened. Golden Tate was short of the goal line, and the game ended on a
The
review.
receiver did catch the ball. However, he was down short of the line to gain. The ball we placed at the 48-yard line. Again, in this situation, requires a 10-second runoff. However, Los Angeles will actually take a timeout in lieu of the 10-second runoff. So please put 108 on the game clock, 108.
So he was able to take a timeout when the play ended back there at 108 and save him 13 seconds in this game. It's rare. You got to deal with that question of do you want to take a timeout to save time twice on back-to-back plays here.
But on that play, you're probably taking the timeout anyways if you knew that you were short, so you can get the perfect play call to make sure you get the first down and get some points out of it.
Thanks to Dean. Rivers on third down, ready to go, and throw it up top. Incomplete and a flag. Tony Jefferson was in airplane mode. He was flying over to the sideline, and the flag will bring him back for the grab.
Pass interference, defense, number 23. Ball replaced, the spotting foul, first down, Los Angeles.
You can see the matchup right here. 101 gets in front of him. It's both hands on him there. I don't know if he pulled him to make him turn a little bit, but you see the right hand of Jefferson on the inside. That's what drew the call.
That's the first penalty on the Ravens and just the fourth first down, excuse me, for the Chargers here in this half. They can drive to take the lead. Melvin Gordon remains on the sideline. It continues to be Justin Jackson in this 2-minute situation. And on first down, Rivers checks it down. Jackson, open field. Races to the sideline with Weddle. Tagged late, flag at the 15. Jefferson again. Jefferson's cost his team 30 yards on back-to-back plays.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 23 with a late hit. Penalty 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Los Angeles.
You're going to see here, well out of bounds. Not a big hit there, but got just enough of him when he's on that white stripe to get the call.
Unnecessary. And now giving the Chargers a chance here because now they have not moved it most of this game. And here they are to the 20-yard line. With 59 seconds left till halftime. Rivers 5 in the pattern, gets hit as he throws, pass incomplete. Za'Darius Smith busted on in there. He's also one of the players with 7 sacks for the Ravens this season.
Coming through here, and a nice job by Philip Rivers. He's one of the better quarterbacks at being able to get rid of the football. In that situation, don't want to take a sack. Knows he's not going to be able to make the throw, but just get it out there by somebody, stop the clock, and save yourself from taking a loss.
You go back to that Chiefs game last Thursday night, watching the last few games of the Ravens. Interior pressure can give this Chargers offensive line problems.
It is something they've struggled with all year long and something that they worried about coming into this game.
No doubt. So 2nd and 10, and Rivers just gets rid of that screen and throwing it in the neighborhood of Jackson. He'll set up 3rd down here. And now Melvin Gordon, who has been out for this entire drive, comes in to replace Justin Jackson, the rookie.
And a situation coming into the game that I was looking forward to was 3rd down offense of the Chargers against this 3rd down defense of the Ravens, because they love to blitz. Nobody blitzes more in 3rd down situations, and they bring it from all over the place. We talked about it earlier. You got to know where Eric Weddle is, because he kind of sets everything, but he'll be down by the line of scrimmage and take off running at the snap. Philip Rivers got to be able to figure that out.
Here's Weddle backing up by the 10-yard line as Rivers out of the pocket, fires in the middle, tall for Gates. It was incomplete. That was well covered. Gates had multiple players around him, and a field goal attempt coming with 45 till halftime.
Rivers, you're just going to see he's going to go a little bit of an in route right here. You got safety with Humphrey on the outside, and Philip Rivers wasn't able to step in and finish his throw because of the pressure. Usually forces the ball high.
Nice job too, the linebacker, the Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, dropping back there, giving Rivers no window. So Michael Badgley, the rookie out of Miami, added earlier this season, has missed just once from 38. Knocks it through, and it's a 3-point game with 40 seconds till halftime. A lot on the line for both teams. Let's take the Ravens end here, Kurt. They can still win the division. Both teams can still win the division, even though they're in wild card spots now. Win these last 2 games tonight, and then against Cleveland at home, and the Steelers, who lose one of their last 2. Of course, Pittsburgh plays New Orleans. If the Chargers can win these 2, and the Chiefs lose 1, they'll be the West champs and the #1 seed. And of course, Kansas City has to go to Seattle on Sunday Night Football tomorrow night, and we know what a tough task that will be, no matter how high-powered the Mahomes offense is.
No question. I mean, it's starting to get fun, and we know that Tennessee got that win, came from behind to get the win earlier today. So huge game here for the Ravens just to stay in the hunt.
This is so intriguing to watch what the Ravens have done here, winning 4 of their last 5 to turn their season around. They had a stretch where they lost 4 or 5 and thought, well, they're done. Is John Harbaugh going to be back? Now he's got a contract extension, and their team is thinking about the division. Chris Moore on the return. Only 1 more step to go with a chance to bust at the outside. Takes it to the 30-yard line. Is this what you expected? Low scoring, tight, 6-3 right before half?
Well, I tell you what, it doesn't surprise me. We knew both of these defenses could step up and play. We knew it was going to be tough for the Chargers to put up a lot of points, but I was hoping for a little bit more than this. I know we talked to Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and he said that 54-51 game a couple weeks ago was sickening to him. I'm not going to quite say this is sickening to me, but I'd like to see a little more explosion from the offensive side.
Well, you see, this is Ravens ball now, 200 yards. They've had the ball for about 20 minutes of this half. They set up a screen here, and it is thrown incomplete. Can this style of ball, what the Ravens are playing right now, can this not only get you in the tournament, but can you win games in the playoffs playing the way John Harbaugh's team is right now?
Well, if your defense continues to play like this, there's no doubt you can win anywhere at any time against anybody. But you just feel like come playoff time, you can't always win to your strength. So sometimes somebody's going to score some points on this defense, and it lends itself to say, can this offense find a way to put a bunch of points on the board in that one game that they may have to?
This is 2nd and 10. They continue to choose to throw it in the middle. It's caught to midfield by Michael Crabtree. First catch in 2 weeks. Gain of 20. Timeout with 23 seconds till half.
Nice patience here. You're going to end up seeing Crabtree run the big end. And nice patience by Lamar Jackson. Climbing up the pocket. Sees the hole there. Nice touch ball. Put it right there over the linebacker. And they talked about how he's got how he's got the ability to make all the throws. It's the consistency of the throws, and we've seen that here in the first half. His feet get away from him sometimes. He'll miss some throws, but when he lines up, he has shown the ability to make big-time throws, and you saw that right there. Not many guys can make that up over a linebacker type throw at the second level. Big-time throw by that young man.
I know our friend Peyton Manning hates the term arm talent, but does Lamar Jackson have the talented arm? Yes, he does. He can make the requisite throws, at least in the middle of the field right now. 21 seconds and a timeout. Dancing out of trouble. keeping this play alive, sprinting and throwing it back across the middle, incomplete, with now 14 seconds left. And again, you saw the long miss from Tucker, but he certainly has the leg to make a 55, 58-yard field goal. So you start thinking, Kurt, you know, if they can just get 10 more yards, they've got a legitimate chance to try a field goal here before halftime.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you forced me to watch him beforehand, and it is amazing to watch what he can do with the football. He slipped on that first one, probably what pulled it to the left, but they have the extreme confidence in that young man. If you get him close, that they're going to go for it.
This is 2nd and 10 from midfield. Jackson steps up, fires sideline. It's dropped. Crabtree have it, and we need to give full credit to Casey Hayward, who really ripped it out of the hands of the receiver with 8 seconds remaining.
Lamar Jackson had to step up with the pressure that forced this ball to be just a little bit behind Crabtree, and that's what allowed Hayward to be able to knock it out. See how it's back to the inside? You want to leave it to the outside, but Hayward, nice job finding the football and pulling it out.
All right, so it is 3rd down. There are 8 seconds left. The Ravens have a timeout, so they can use the middle of the field, stop the clock to give Tucker a shot. Gotta watch the play clock here, though. Can't take a delay here. And it's a delay again. So the clock hit 0. Back judge looked, saw the ball still there. It'll cost him 5.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And changes the things just a little bit here.
Caught in that tough area, right? You can't call the timeout there and use your last one. So you see him clapping like, give it to me.
And although this is a soccer stadium that is set up for the NFL, that play clock's right in the middle of the goalpost. It's straight out there. It's not hidden in a tough spot to find. 3rd and 15. Jackson throws the slant, which is caught at the 46-yard line. So from here, field goal 64 yards. Chris Moore catches it, and let's see if the Ravens are going to try it and try to tie a little bit of National Football League history. In the pregame, Tucker made one from 65. Again, there was no snap, no rush. It gives you an idea of the ability with his leg. I did a game in Detroit on a Monday night back in 2013 when he kicked a 61-yarder to win it. So he has the leg. The National Football League record is Matt Prater, 64-yarder at altitude for the Broncos, December 8th of 2013. This would be the National Football League record. They're going to mark it at the 45. This would be a 65-yard field goal attempt. The Chargers have a player back to return just in case it is short. So for National Football League history, a timeout first, and Tucker will give it a whirl just to see if he can make it there. And it comes up just short. Timeout taken by the Chargers. This is where it came up just short. Los Angeles has Derwin James back there. Interesting, the long snapper, Morgan Cox, went down to get that ball. So they're K balls, the special kicking balls. And Cox came back to get that one so they could kick it with the one they feel is the most comfortable with.
Well, when I was watching him in warm-ups, he missed one and he goes, get that ball out of here. You know, so very particular, just like quarterbacks are particular with the kind of balls they like to throw. Kickers with the ones they like to kick.
Derwin James back for a return if it's short. National Football League record field goal attempt, 65 yards on the way, and it is short. James will return it. James returns towards his bench, which teams like to do in this situation, but the Ravens were planning for it, and a tackle at the 22 sends us to halftime. It's one of the more exciting missed field goals we've had in a while. Lexus halftime report is coming up. Chris Rose, Steve Smith Sr., Michael Irvin, and LaDainian Tomlinson at the break. 6-3 Baltimore.
Where my dogs at?
Down the sideline, and it is pulled away. Let's see if it's an interception for Brandon Carr. It is. 65 yards on the way, and it is short. So the missed attempt for the field goal is a highlight of the half. Gives you kind of an idea what kind of half it was. 6-3, a lot on the line. Third quarter here at StubHub Center. Peter Schrager on the sideline. Mike Tirico, Kurt Warner here. Ravens, comfortable. Chargers, uncomfortable. Talk about the second half and the mindset for these teams.
Well, you know coming in that this is not what the Chargers wanted, right? It's really tough to get into a rhythm as a quarterback when you've only got 13, 21 plays now after the 2-minute drive. So they just want to get out there. If you're that, I mean, I just need to get into some kind of rhythm. But the great thing is that it's still just a 3-point game. So of all things, and about as worst first half as you could have if you were the Chargers, you're only down 3 points and you've been here before.
That's right, coming from double-digit deficits in prime time against Pittsburgh and Kansas City. You see Baltimore got inside the 20, only 6 points to show for those trips. And the Chargers, it's been 6 years since they've had this tough a half. The short kickoff taken by Chris Moore. Chargers played it well. He only gets to the 20-yard line. Adrian Phillips, the tackle. And we go down to Peter Schrager.
Mike, Kurt nailed it. I asked Anthony Lynn, the head coach of the LA Chargers, what do you say to the team? He said, well, we just played their half. They're in our building. We played their half. And we've got to change that because second half, it is Chargers football, and we're in the StubHub, which is our building. John Harbaugh, meanwhile, says we got to keep playing like Ravens. Tougher, stronger, smarter. One note, this building, both teams come in and out of the same tunnel. I will tell you, there was more than a little chippiness going into the locker rooms.
Well, the physical kind of football the Ravens play, it takes away from a little bit, hey, love you, man. Can't wait to see you in the offseason feel that you get sometimes. From the 20, Kenneth Dixon is the back. Here he is on a run to the right. Dixon, spin, keep those legs going, fumble the football. And the Chargers scoop it up. Melvin Ingram. He was fighting for that extra yard. And Ingram comes up with it, so both teams on the first snap of each half turn it over. And now the Chargers have the chance to take the lead.
I almost thought it was one of those situations where that progress was stopped. They were about ready to blow the whistle, but they held him up right there. As you see, fighting for that extra yard. Pull it out. Huge turnover to change things. And right like that, you're right back in this thing, or maybe have the lead if you're the Chargers.
He certainly was up there. Darius Philon and Ingram pulling at it, and it comes out, and Ingram comes up with the recoveries of the Pro Bowler, and the defense for the Chargers give Rivers and the offense the ball in about as good a place as they've had it all night. Dixon had become more of a dependable guy here. They're leaning on him, especially in the rain last week in Baltimore against Tampa.
Hey,
Melvin Gordon in at the back.
You okay? Set. 390. Good.
On first down, here is Gordon. Up the middle, inside the 10, inside the 5. Carries the pile down to the 2-yard line.
Just going to run right at them. Not a lot of holes all night long for Melvin Gordon. Not a lot of touches, though. You see great patience there. Be able to let the block set up, cut to his left, put his head down, get inside the 5.
Strong run from Gordon, who had a limited impact on that first half. His first half back after missing the 3 weeks. They'll mark him at the 4. Where the ball was when his knee first came down. Interesting formation here for the Chargers. Allows Rivers to assess how many inside there. And he'll give to Gordon. Has the first down, close to the goal line. It's 1st and goal inside the 1.
You almost feel if that you're the Ravens defense, that's the one thing you say to yourself that we can't have is turnovers. We make them take the long distance. We feel great about ourselves. Just can't give them the short field as the offense did there.
Knee down, ball down, shy of the goal line, but the Chargers will have 2nd and goal here. Dixon hoping the defense can make a play. Rivers on the give. Gordon to the end zone. Chargers take the lead with the game's first touchdown.
Exactly what you wanted to do to start the second half. And just power game right here. We're just going to give it to Gordon. We're just going to mash everybody there. He finds a little bit of a seam. Gets into the end zone.
Look at that double team on the nose tackle. The good nose tackle, Brandon Williams. Michael Badgley for the extra point. And just like that, a minute 42 in, the man on the left fumbled, the man on the right scores. Fighting for that extra yard. Kenneth Dixon gave it up. Melvin Gordon took it in. 10-6, LA.
This NFL Network special is brought to you by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL. And by KFC's $20 fill-up. It's finger-licking good.
First lead of the night for the home team, the Los Angeles Chargers, and Melvin Gordon. We go back a couple of years, most touchdowns since 2016. Todd Gurley, crosstown, having the huge season for the Rams, but Gordon gets his 14th overall, 10th on the ground. This kickoff will bounce and be fielded by Chris Moore. As Moore has been well covered by the Chargers special teams. He is kept shy of the 15-yard line. Adrian Phillips again, the Pro Bowler, with the tackle. Occurred after that one play to get started. Here comes Lamar Jackson again, but for the first time tonight, after the Gordon score, he'll take the field trailing, down 10-6.
And that's why it was so huge for the Chargers, right? Put the pressure back on the young kid. Now, I know early in the second half, long way to go. You can stay with your game plan, but you love to keep young guys with the pressure if you've got to score to get back ahead.
High snap, brings it down, slings it across the middle. The DB fell. Great chance for John Brown to gain yards. Out to the 32, gain of 17 in the first down.
Feed off the play fake. John Brown just coming and run a little bit of a crosser here. Eyes up, good throw, nice catch out there in front of him. Good job by Lamar Jackson.
Just caught the back of the ball, just slipping through those hands. Brown able to corral it.
It's those gloves that you were telling me about last week.
Oh my gosh, they are so good. Even I can catch the ball. 2 for Brown, 41 on the season. The receivers have not been involved much, but 9 completions for Jackson so far. Dixon, who fumbled a moment ago, is back in the game. And in the middle, Jackson for his tight end, brought in by Mark Andrews, who escapes and goes all the way for the touchdown. 68 yards. Rookie to rookie, and the Ravens retake the lead.
What a big-time throw as well. See Mark Andrews right here. Just running a deep over. And look at the ball. Once again, we've seen it twice tonight. Up and over the linebacker. Great touch. Right in the breadbasket for big number 89, and he does the rest.
The third-round pick was the Mackey Award winner, best tight end in college football last year. Gets his 3rd touchdown catch on the season. Tucker adds the extra point. And who said they can't be the quick strike Ravens? 1 minute, 2 plays, 85 yards. And Baltimore is back on top here in Los Angeles. Well, one of the faces we associate with the great Ravens defense, Ed Reed, who patrolled at safety position like few others in his time. 2019 semifinalist, first time on the ballot, Pro Football Hall of Fame. You'll have that gold jacket like Mr. Warner at some point. Andrews, the 68-yard catch. He had a 74-yard catch against the Raiders earlier this season. Tucker's kick, good hang time, and a touchback. This guy, you know a little bit. Let's talk about the play first.
I do. This is all about the free safety right here. As he moves to that direction, you're going to see the crosser. Once he gets leverage across the safety's face, then it's just throw and catch now. And as we said, great throw up over the top. But Mark Andrews went to Desert Mountain High School in Arizona, which is where my kids go to school and where I coach. So I've had a chance to get to know him over the years. What a great young man and extremely talented.
I'm glad you can now go home again safely.
No kidding. My wife's texting me like, no DM, shout out. Give me a chance, honey. Give me a chance.
Desert Mountain in the house. So is Rivers. Here he goes. Trailing again. Back to Jordan. Gain of a dozen. Make it 13 as Gordon takes it out around to the 38-yard line. So did you coach Andrews? Are you responsible for some of that?
I wish I could say yes, but no, I did not. My son was a freshman when Mark was a senior, so got a chance to know him a little bit. He's been over to the house and run some routes and worked with my son Cade a little bit, but no, unfortunately, I can't take any credit for that.
Just want to make sure, make that clear. But quite a young man. His Oklahoma career, 22 touchdowns. Most of his catches this year have been for first downs. And that one of the big touchdowns of the season for the Ravens. Pounds it inside for a gain of maybe a yard or so. C.J. Mosley made the tackle. Kurt, when we came into this segment, we showed Ed Reed. The specter of Reed and Ray Lewis play the Raven way has been so pervasive in this franchise. And C.J. Mosley is one of those next generation guys who is putting that on the field here in 2018.
You're right. I mean, we got T. Suggs, who, how much longer is he going to play? Still playing at a high level, but looking for that next guy to take over. And we talked to Martindale about who is that guy that sets the tempo. And without hesitation, he said C.J. Mosley.
9, Gordon again, and like he was listening, Mosley comes in with the tackle. There's a flag down back by the offensive line trying to open that hole.
Holding offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
And you saw Gordon asking out as you were watching. He comes back to the bench. Let's check the flag. The extension of the arm for the Pro Bowl center, Pouncey. Getting Michael Pierce. I mentioned Brandon Williams earlier. Williams and Pierce inside doing a very good job clogging up the middle for the Ravens, helping set the tone for this top-ranked NFL defense. Weddle and Rivers playing their little know-each-other game. Rivers in trouble here, and he will be sacked. Patrick Owasso comes up with 4.5 sacks now on the season as they bring down the quarterback back around the 21-yard line.
We talked about the cat and mouse game. This is really right here. You'll see faking the blitz. Watch him run out. Phillips looking to throw that shallow route there, but that zone dog, what we call it, right? Bring pressure, play zone behind it, came right underneath his outlet. No place for Phillip Rivers to go. He just had to eat that one.
And the rookie Justin Jackson could not handle the pressure from the 6-footer who's from Inglewood, California. So not too far from home. He comes up with a sack, and now it's third and more than a quarter of the field. Underneath, trying to get as much as they can with Jackson. He gets to the 31-yard line. Marlon Humphrey, who's become the top corner on this Ravens defense, helps keep the Chargers from sustaining any offense here, and they'll be forced to kick it away.
Well, the theme here early in the second half is similar to the first half, right? Yeah. Penalties, putting themselves behind the chains, which is not where you want to be against this aggressive attacking Ravens defense.
Donnie Jones will kick it away. Cyrus Jones going to get a head start on a 36-yard kick. Gets away from one tackle, but not the next. Great coverage by Derek Watt. Another Watt brother being heard from. Ravens by 3, and they have the ball when you come back. Is your holiday shopping done?
Most of it. Left a little bit to my wife.
Okay.
To get done for me. Been traveling a lot these last couple weeks.
I was going to say, you know, it's a good thing that there's not Tuesday Night Football because you'd be doing the game at this point. I hope you're having a great holiday season. Nice weekend backing up to Christmas on Tuesday. Hopefully you're hanging out with some family and enjoying some football. Terrific weekend of NFL action. From the 32, off a touchdown the last drive. Lamar Jackson, 3 straight passes. 3 straight, completions. Nick Boyle up and over Jatavius Brown, excuse me. What a jump and a game. Wow.
Boyle's more known for what he does in the run game and his blocking, but great athleticism to get up over the linebacker right there, get a few extra yards.
Boyle was questionable to play in concussion protocol earlier this week. His 74th career reception. He's never had a touchdown catch. He's got pretty good hops there. 2nd and 3 to the ground, and Gus Edwards inside. Justin Jones, the rookie from NC State, tries to stop the pile. It's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up. Kurt, I want to just go back a second for a drive ago. When the Ravens fell down, what Lamar Jackson did, helping to add to his now career high in a game passing yards.
Well, when you've got a young quarterback, it's all about continuing to build confidence in him. So they fall behind for the first time in the game, and you think they come out and say, hey, we're going to continue to do what we do. But no, put the ball in his hands. Big play, touchdown. Nothing builds confidence like a coach saying, hey, we trust you in every situation.
Extra offensive lineman, Jackson. Patient run by Lamar Jackson across midfield. And the first down at the 49-yard line. If you guys told us, hey, he's just like a quarterback who is a running back. And watch the patience as this hole opens.
And it's so tough, as we say, with all of these reads. You're going to see Bullard right here go tackle the back. Oh, he doesn't have the ball anymore. It's number 8. Now he gets out around the edge, makes the first down. But so tough with that sleight of hand when there's a chance for Lamar Jackson to pull it on almost every single run.
On first down, Jackson slides it into traffic, and it's incomplete. Crabtree wants the flag, and a couple are thrown. Now immediately the Chargers sideline is saying the ball was tipped. If the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, any contact would not bring a pass interference flag. Anthony Lynn among those saying there's a deflection. It was not, as our guys at the truck have had an early peek at it.
Pass interference, defense, number 43. Ball in place in the spot of the foul. First down, Baltimore.
So it will be a flag, take the ball to the 40.
Just a quick slant here, and this is a second window throw is what we call it. Doesn't come out right away. He's trying to throw it right around number 33 right there. So holding it allows Davis to drive on it, but you see, he just gets there a touch early.
You see, the first round pick, Derwin James, got a hand there, but it did not touch the ball. So a correct call by the officials on the field, and this drive stays alive. Ravens up 3, looking to add with Gus Edwards. A big 43-yard run to start the game. He gains 3 there. Both of these teams trying to run to the playoffs, and as that run is on, NFL Network, your home for the most playoff coverage anywhere, all the way through Super Bowl 53. NFL Network, your home for the NFL playoffs. You'll be working Super Bowl Sunday on the radio call with Kevin Harlan.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Super Bowl 53. Love listening to you guys on Monday nights as we travel around, run some errands at home. Anthony Lynn would love to be there. The Chargers would love to get back to Super Bowl Sunday. Really put a foothold in their stay here in Los Angeles, the place where this franchise started back in the AFL days. Jackson fakes it, takes off to run, takes a big hit as he goes down, barely back to the line of scrimmage, and to bring up 3rd down.
Looked as if he wanted to take the quick throw to the tight end and was jumped by the linebacker. Got Melvin Ingram up in the air as he was trying to knock it down. Let's see Melvin Ingram right here off the edge. Wants to throw it right there. Oh, gets him up in the air. Able to get a little bit of something out of that.
It's a different game for those guys. It's no pin your ears back and go get the quarterback. It's get the passing lanes. And
you got to be aware of everything, don't you?
Ty Montgomery in the back. 3rd and 8. Jackson's getting blitzed. He throws it. It's almost intercepted by Casey Hayward. Had it in his hands, had a hand on it, couldn't bring it in. 55-yard field goal attempt coming up.
We call a 7 stop up here by John Brown at the top. Gonna push, break to the corner and then stop. Really well done by Casey Hayward to jump that thing, and ball needs to be on the outside number there, just keeping it away from the defender. Not sure he would have been able to make that anyways. It was just great coverage.
This will be 56 yards for Tucker. Rare is the game that he's missed 3 field goals, albeit them all really long. He tries to convert from 56. Online and got it. 56-yard field goal. As good as it gets in this league. I know he missed a couple earlier, but man, take Tucker any kick, anytime.
This NFL Network special is brought to you by Verizon. Get the gift you want on the network you deserve.
Ravens led most of the way, gave up the lead with an early turnover, but have come back to score 10 points and retake the lead. And they have controlled the game. Kurt, look at this domination. 20 more plays, 225 more yards, and 10 minutes advantage in time of possession. This is Raven football 2018.
For how long are we going to say, can they continue to do this?
They hope until the first Sunday in February. Desmond King takes a knee. Tennessee beat Washington earlier. Big one here this evening. High impact games all over on Sunday, especially for the teams in this division. The one in the late window on Sunday afternoon. The Steelers and the Saints, and the Sunday nighter with Kansas City visiting Seattle. Just like these teams will be glued, those teams, those fan bases are watching, wondering, what's it all going to look like 8 nights and a couple hours from right now when we know the 12 in the tournament and who's going where?
380. Good.
On the road to Super Bowl 50. Rivers climbs the pocket, look deep, it was covered, so he pulled it down, he runs for a gain of a yard. Tyus Bowser came in with a lot of the pressure. Second-year man out of Houston, hasn't played to his draft pick, 47th overall. Did a good job there.
And they were trying to get a double move with their speed guy, Travis Benjamin, over here. But you'll see Eric Weddle move up over the top. Phillip wanted to take that shot, but with the safety help there, he just pulled it down. And again, had to take the sack.
That's the guy I used to go and practice against for 9 years. Oh, he's there again. Darn it. Nothing for Mike Williams after that huge night against Kansas City 10 days ago. Melvin Gordon fights out the tackle. The flag is down as Gordon gets to the 30-yard line. Tough running for Gordon tonight. 9 carries, 33 yards before that one.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Number 16. Until he's 10 yards from the spot of foul. Will replay. Second down.
It's Tyrell Williams, who ended up with 6 grabs against the Chiefs last week.
Once again, Chargers putting themselves back, making the mistakes, right? Give a lot of credit to the Ravens defense. This is what they do, but it almost seems like it's the Chargers' mistakes that are helping them more than anything.
I know they haven't run a lot of plays, 30 plays, only 3 balls to wide receivers. 2 to Allen, 1 to Benjamin, and that is it. The one from Benjamin came as he was a ghost coming around the back of Rivers and catching a short pass. Rivers in trouble, and he will be sacked. Brent Urban at the top of the pile. Zadarius Smith at the bottom. They'll share a sack back at the 10.
Well, we're going to see a couple wins from this side. No special moves. Right here, just a little bull rush, get inside. Phillip Rivers had no chance. But once again, confusion from the back end. Eric Weddle and company giving Phillip one thing, showing him something else at the snaps. He's got to hold the ball a little bit longer, and they're getting home up front.
And I'm watching Melvin Gordon come over to the sideline slowly, too, take his helmet off. He does not look 100% at the moment. Ravens fans being heard. 3rd and long. Play clock running down. Rivers gets it off in time underneath Justin Jackson. Not going to get it all. Down to the 21, and the top-ranked defense in the league being heard from in the 3rd quarter of a big game tonight in Los Angeles.
Talked about already. Can't put yourself behind, right? Got to just check it down in that situation. Exactly what the Ravens want. Dump it off. We will rally and make that tackle. But every single drive where they've stalled, it has come down to them making a mistake somewhere or another.
Donnie Jones again. Ravens jumping around up front. Jones gets a twister away. Cyrus Jones muffed one and made a mistake last week. It was get away here. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Well, you know Michael Vick, you see Lamar Jackson, you're reminded of that electric impact Vick had early in his days, and that's the guy Lamar Jackson idolized amongst the quarterbacks. And the two got a chance to sit down and meet and connect. And Peter Schrager works on the pregame on Fox early on Sundays with Michael Vick, and got this quote from Michael on Lamar. What I love about Lamar, he loves the quarterback position, but he's not trying to be the next Michael Vick. He's trying to be the first Lamar Jackson. After this first down, I'll bring Peter in to talk a little bit more about what Michael has said and the impact that Lamar is making on the league here in these 6 starts. Nice snap, brought down, but a flag kills the play.
False start. Offense, number 30. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Peter?
Spoke to Michael Vick last night for a long time about Lamar Jackson. He said it was as much of a thrill for him to sit there with Lamar because he looks at the future of the game. He says, in my generation, it was guys like Kurt Warner, it was guys like me, it was guys like Brett Favre. But now there's Lamar Jackson, and the comparisons to Michael Vick, Michael says, okay, that's great. We both ran and we can throw the ball. This kid is something special. He's going to be the first to Lamar Jackson, and there are going to be a whole generation of quarterbacks who want to be him.
It's very interesting. College quarterbacks are more like Lamar Jackson, not like the drop back guys like you were, Kurt. Will the league adapt to it? Maybe we are seeing a sea change. He rolls here, fakes it, and throws it on the sideline, and it's caught. It's all that stuff. It keeps the passing game alive in this run stuff. Nick Boyle, his second catch of the quarter.
And this is really well done as he gets out on the edge. It's always playing with those defenders. Are you going to come tackle me? You're going to cover the guy. There, Desmond King comes up on Lamar Jackson. He just flips it up over the top. Just kind of backyard, front yard football. But that's what you have to be able to do when you're an athlete, is get out there on the edge and make the right decision. Great decision by the young kid there.
2nd and 7, Gus Edwards. He's going for a yard or so. What do you think, Kurt? I mean, obviously, this is just a very small sample size, but we've seen Baker Mayfield do it with a little bit more running. Where do you think this could go down the line?
Well, I'm interested to see, because we continue to ask, can you live in this world? Can your quarterback run every snap? And in the era of the $27 million quarterback, can you expose him that much on a game-in, game-out basis? I don't know, but I'm interested to see with the way they've built this around defense and the way they're going to go full steam with this offense.
We saw Robert Griffin III inactive tonight. 3rd and 6. Jackson out of the pocket, throws incomplete, trying to get to Hayden Hurst. But that other terrific rookie on the field tonight, Derwin James, says no. And the Chargers defense comes up big when it was needed.
You can see the crossword coming in from this side. As Lamar tries to step up to make this throw. You see how his feet are moving to the left as he's trying to throw it to the right. That's a recipe to leave a ball back behind. He puts it out in front. Maybe they have a chance to pick up the first down.
Veteran Sam Cook, this is his 1,000th punt in the NFL. The 24th man to punt 1,000 times in an NFL game. They're caught by Desmond King. Back at the 12. Chiefs watch with great interest, because if the Chargers lose here, Kansas City can lock it down at the top of the AFC West and perhaps of the entire AFC with a victory tomorrow night. Difficult against Seattle. If Houston jumped into the 2 slot, the Patriots off their back-to-back losses, the Steelers waiting in New Orleans to take on Breeze and the Saints. Tennessee won earlier, so in Nashville, all the country music might be on hold here on a Saturday night for just a little bit, because they're watching to see their Titans going to still be battling the Ravens, or the Chargers can come back and they can go to sleep in that 6th spot. Gordon back in the game. Gain of 1. He's coming back from injury. He hasn't been as explosive as we got used to, but he's also facing one really good defense.
He is. I love hearing you talk about all the scenarios for the playoffs. Rich Eisen does it on Sunday morning, and it's so much fun because so many things yet to be determined with just 2 weeks to go.
Hey, kicked in.
After this one, 30 games left of the season. Rivers complete underneath Antonio Gates to the 18-yard line. That all-time combo reconnects again. Just a short gain here. They went no huddle after 1st down. And 3rd down coming. They found success, Kurt, at the end of the half going no huddle. Moved the ball best that they did, and here they go again.
Well, just picking up yards like that to keep it in 3rd and manageable. Every time he's had to drop back and hold the football, they've been able to get to him up front. So nice job just getting 5, putting yourself in a great situation to make a short throw and pick up the 1st down.
0 for 6 3rd down conversions tonight. 4 rush. Rivers throws. Gates. Rivers to Gates, 1st down. For like the 9,000th time all time. He's still got it. He's got the respect of the room. His players love him. Antonio Gates, the catch that sends us to an interesting 4th quarter. After 3 in Los Angeles, the Ravens come back to take the lead. Baltimore 16, Los Angeles 10. Off we go to the 4th quarter here at StubHub Center. Mike Tirico, Kurt Warner, Peter Schrager, Dean Blandino back in the studio. 10 for the Ravens after the Chargers who got on the board off the turnover and took the lead. It is Baltimore 16, Los Angeles 10. As we start this fourth, Rivers and the Chargers first down at their own 23. Melvin Gordon is the back. And Rivers throws to Gates for the third straight time, and Jefferson got in the way. Tony Jefferson, part of this Baltimore defense, coordinated by Don Wink Martindale, who replaced Dean Pease. He's been around this Ravens defense for a while as the linebacker coach, and they have simplified in some ways what they do in terms of their pressure packages, and they are playing at an elite level.
And the idea is to let young guys come in and play early, so they've simplified it, made it easier for them, so they can still run all their blitzes, but even with young guys that have only been there a short period of time.
2nd and 10. And Rivers looking right. Allen doesn't get it. Marlon Humphrey's one of those young guys who've come in and played at a very high level right away. First-round pick last year, Alabama, covering the top receiver.
Well, he's long and he's physical, and that's what you're going to see right there. Tight coverage, but it's tough, you know, to be able to run by him, but he's able to get his hands in there and knock that football away. But they just love the fact that he can do everything at the corner spot.
Eric Weddle told me this week that guy has picked up his consistency, and he's become our lockdown corner. They still have Brandon Carr and Jimmy Smith, the veterans, as well. Showing pressure. A bunch come from Rivers right. Phillip up top. Incomplete. Williams tried to sprint to get to the ball. Chargers sideline wants a flag. Instead, their punting unit comes on.
Well, it's just a go route down the sideline. Almost looked like a cover two where Humphreys just drops underneath it. Safety coming up over the top, but bad angle by Jefferson. The ball gets over the top of him just a little too far away that he can't go and make the catch.
That's interesting what they were looking for. It's not a ton of contact, but that little contact is what the Chargers folks saw and wanted that call. They come after Donnie Jones. Gets rid of this one. 48 yards. Backpedaling fair catch by Cyrus Jones at the 29. 23 seconds into the quarter. Ravens ball +6. On this Saturday night in Carson, California, our aerial coverage presented by State Farm. A lot about Lamar Jackson, the first-round pick. In addition to the change of philosophy for the offense, it's also a big change because your Super Bowl winning quarterback, a forever remembered star in Baltimore, a $100 million contract guy, Joe Flacco, was injured and then when healthy, is benched. He's the backup quarterback. Everyone has said he has handled it incredibly first class. Been a big part of what this team is doing. Lamar Jackson said, even in the film room, he helps me on some of the run things with some things he sees.
Did you buy that?
Not for a second. Kenneth Dixon, the running back, pulled down. Good play by Joey Bosa in the backfield. Loss of a couple. Peter?
Yeah, Mike, you know, John Harbaugh went golfing with Joe Flacco during the offseason. It was after the draft. They played 18 holes, didn't really come up. Then for an hour they sat, and Joe Flacco told John Harbaugh, look, I understand what's going on, and I will never do anything to get in the way of what's best for this team. However this thing shakes out, just know you've always got my back because you've always had mine. Harbaugh said having that freedom and knowing that was the case made this entire transition a lot easier.
Gutsy move with 27. Melvin Ingram almost had him. Jackson escapes. Jackson on the run. Back to the line of scrimmage in a gain of about 1. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Hey, Mike, you know, I was there numerous times in my career, and it's so hard as a competitor when something like that happens and you stand over there on the sideline. But we knew Joe would be class about this, and the way that he goes in and talking to Lamar about the way Joe helps him break down passing tape, what he's seeing. They talk about everything on the sideline. But for me, the hardest part was going to practice. And knowing now that you're on a scout team, that somebody's putting up a card and you got to throw to the guy circled, instead of being able to go out there every day and compete.
Here's a snap away. 3rd and 11. Big down for the Charger D. Here comes the pressure. And they got to Jackson. Desmond King blitzing off the corner. Circles around. Gets Jackson. 4th down.
You're able to see double blitz coming over here. Coming off the edge, Lamar's looking the other direction. Saw it too late, wasn't able to escape out the backside. Desmond King has really been a playmaker for this defense all year long.
And then Desmond King made the sack. He just kept running. He's back to receive the punt. There he is in the 25. Sam Cook is usually very good at an array of punts trying to limit the return. Let's see what he does here. The Chargers trying to build some momentum. Big kick. 54 on the yardage. King hesitates, accelerates, and gets pulled down at the 26-yard line. Well, we're watching Philip Rivers here tonight. Philip Rivers is now 36. Back in the day, quarter century ago, this is 10-year-old Philip Rivers. All about me. There's the family, his dad Steve, who was a coach. His 3 wishes: brother, have a brother, good pro ball, and good grades. Some of his favorite things are football. That's Anthony Carter down in the bottom, where he put his own face on the Sports Illustrated cover of Anthony Carter and the Vikings in the playoffs back in the day.
Just don't put any mayo on his sandwiches.
Okay, I did see that.
I don't like mayo.
Hey, you know, got priorities in life. First down, trying to add to his passing yards. Been limited tonight because of this defense. Gordon is erased by Tavon Young. These Raven defenders are everywhere.
And open field tackles. Isn't that what you want? You want to get Melvin Gordon out in space if you're the Chargers. But Young with a great job of going down low, getting a hand on both feet, pulling him down.
Young has done an outstanding job in this secondary. Jimmy Smith plays in a nickel role at times as well with Young. Sometimes they'll play 6 DBs. Use the disguise. They've got so many options. Trying to get it to Travis Benjamin. Change the look for the Raven defense. Benjamin on the end did a really nice job. Terrell Suggs helps pull him down along with Kenny Young, the rookie. Played his ball in Westwood at UCLA.
It was really all about Brandon Carr on the outside. Weren't able to get to him. He cut off the outside, forced Travis Benjamin to stop his feet and come back to where the posse was coming from on the inside. Exactly what you want to do if you're a corner on a jet sweep.
These are big downs. Third down, of course, you're down 6, but the Ravens have what it takes for a 6-7 minute drive. They limit your chances. So you need to sustain offense. Can Rivers and the Chargers do it? Out of the middle of the crosser. First down. Terrell Williams across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
And the Chargers love to run the shallow route, especially on third down. Here they get caught in a zone coverage. Nobody able to chase him, or nobody on the other side, as Brandon Carr was actually trying to chase him. They're playing zone on the inside, man on the outside. He has to go up over the top, creating a lot of space, but they love Williams in those kind of situations. Big, strong, fast guy running across the field.
Quick count, first down, pitch it. Mike Williams, who ran it effectively in Kansas City. He got hit hard. Tagged by Jefferson from his safety spot. To the 46, gain of 4. 2 pros, big time play.
No doubt. You see the big hit coming here, because that is a big man you're going up to hit, but protecting himself, Jefferson. Picture perfect, making the tackle with the shoulder.
You made that observation when we were down on the field. Mike Williams, 6'4", 220, the 7th overall pick in last year's draft. When he gets going, big hit from Jefferson at the safety spot. 2nd and 6. Rivers in trouble. Rivers is sacked again. 3rd time they've gotten to him. And the big game continues for the Southern California. Patrick Owasso again.
Well, so far, the Ravens are winning this one. They're going to pop out here. They're going to go here. And so they're showing pressure. They bring it from the right-hand side, drop into a zone coverage. While Rivers is trying to wait for his receivers to get into those holes, they're just breaking down up front.
Pierce's hand was up on the face mask. Did he grab and twist or just slide off? No flag. 3rd and 14. Play clock running down. Ravens bring 4. Rivers has some time. Middle shot is caught for the first down. Keenan Allen at the 45-yard line. Judon and Rivers yapping.
Rivers a lot of credit for being mobile, but he does a nice job of manipulating the pocket, stepping up right there. Nice ball up over the top. I mean, you make fun of that throwing motion quite often, right? Kids don't try that at home, but great touch to be able to set that in there and lead his receiver into the hole.
From when he was a kid, his dad Steve was the coach. The football was too big for him, so he kind of threw it off his shoulder. It's worked. Gordon tripped up. Melvin Gordon was sensing that outside, but Jimmy Smith just got a hand on him, pulled him down. Gain of 4. You know, I'm thinking of last week, Kurt, against Tampa, and that sloppy day in Baltimore. The Ravens kept the ball for the last 7 minutes of the game, so they are built to shut you out and keep you on the sideline in the fourth quarter. That's why I'm just sensing more urgency with this Chargers drive, even though we still got half a quarter of ball to go.
Urgency, but also patience, right? Don't make that one mistake.
Great.
Trying to force the ball down the field. Continue to do what you're doing. Take those throws underneath, but you're right. They need to get points quickly.
2nd and 6. 3 in the pattern. Rivers incomplete. Keenan Allen wanted the flag. He feels like Jimmy Smith grabbed him, and he's complaining about it.
Running a deep comeback here, and you'll see at the top of the route, there is a lot of contact well past that 5-yard mark. That's what he was looking for. Come on, man. Give me something.
3rd and 6. Is this 4th down territory? You have 2 plays to get the 6. Ken Wisenhunt calling the plays for the Chargers. Justin Jackson the back here. 3 to the right. Ravens bringing pressure. Rivers throws. Caught. Jackson got there. 1st down. 34-yard line. He's their former head coach, the Arizona Cardinals and Tennessee Titans. Anthony Lynn glad to have 2 former head coaches as his coordinators. Anthony Lynn's very confident what he does. He doesn't feel any threat of other head coaches in the building. He wants the best, and they have brought it.
And with all the things that have gone on with the Chargers this year, nice to have somebody else in the building that you can go to and say, what do you do in this situation? What do you do in this situation? Got a lot of great advice from those 2 other head coaches.
1st down. Rivers eludes Suggs. Jackson's the outlet. In the open field, made 1 man miss and another. The Ravens rallied to the ball at the 28-yard. Does this feel like a playoff game or what? This drive feels like it's January in the playoffs. This is great.
Well, as you were saying, it's almost like you don't know if they're going to get another chance, right?
Yeah.
This may be the last chance if you don't put a touchdown on the board, but that's got to be the threat. That's got to be the mindset of Ken Wisenhunt right now is, okay, do we have to go for it the whole way here and get a touchdown? Will we get the football back? Because, you know, they watched the film from last week.
Longest drive of the night for the Chargers. This is play 11. Jackson inside. Trying to get to the outside. Made 1 man miss. Not the second. Not going to get away from Tony Jefferson, who is having a 5-star Saturday night.
You know, when they brought him over here from Arizona, this is what they were hoping to get. A veteran guy. He could blitz, he could cover, can make tackles in space, and just there, just enough, right? Just hanging on, just enough to get him down.
Jefferson and Weather, 2 strong safeties. 3rd and 5. 5.5 left in regulation. Will Lynn think about a field goal if they're stopped? Rivers wants 1st down, though. Pressure coming. He is sacked. Za'Darius Smith. The 4th Ravens sack of the night. It's back at the 40. We'll have 4th down and about 15 coming up.
Wow. He was in here in a hurry. No chance for Philip Rivers right there. And now, right now you got to punt. You got to punt.
They're going to punt.
Field goal range. You didn't have to make that decision, but what a huge sack that was by Smith.
Pressure from everywhere. It's not just one guy anymore getting the job done. So the Chargers decide here inside of 5 minutes, 4th and 15. They'll punt it. See if Donnie Jones can pin him inside the 10. It'll depend on the bounce. Can they keep it outside? Did anyone touch the line? Is it down at the 1? They say yes. Kuzovner down there. It looks clean. Looks like it'll be 99 yards for the Ravens to go. In pro sports, it's rare that teams have a style. The Baltimore Ravens are a defensive team. 2015, they gave up a bunch of points. Steve Bisciotti, their owner, said, no, we need to be a defensive team. And John Harbaugh's got the defense back. He's got the quarterback back who's trying to lead that defense. Complimentary football to the max as we check out tonight's Captains of Delivery delivered by Pizza Hut. Jackson has more passing yards than Rivers. The Chargers' high-octane offense has been held in check. And now the Los Angeles defense has to come up with a stop to get Rivers the ball back. 4:35 left in regulation. Massive game with playoff implications coast to coast for the AFC. And the Ravens leading by 6.
Exactly what we call the 4-minute drive, right? This is what it's all about. Everyone in the building knows that you're going to run the football. Can you run it anyways and get first downs and run this clock out?
Or will they? Dare they throw? Terrific special teams play. The drive starts at the 2. Both backs are in, Edwards and Dixon. Up back, Edwards. Free agent from Rutgers gains 2 to the 4. No timeout, Anthony Lynn. He's got the full boat of timeouts, under 4.5 to go.
Well, Chargers have struggled outside that last drive, struggled to move the football. So 3 and out would be so huge, right? So you don't have to go the long distance, which is how the Ravens are built. So they can hold them here without getting the first down.
One back, Gus Edwards. At the 4-minute mark, here is Edwards in the middle. Trying to push the pile, gets to the 7-yard line. No timeout from the Chargers. 3:50 to go.
So now decision time. You put it in your young quarterback's hands again. We saw it earlier. Great confidence in him when they fell behind. Put the ball in his hands on 2 straight plays. Do you run it, kick it back and allow your defense to play? Or do you want to try to finish this thing and put it in your young quarterback's hands?
What do you want to do?
I want to try to finish it. I never want to give the ball back to Philip Rivers. I've seen what he's done 2 of the last 3 weeks. So I'd like to finish this thing.
3rd and 5. Jackson going to roll it from the edge. Now he's looking back. Nothing's going to happen. They'll stop him at the 6. Chargers should take a timeout here to preserve time, and they will. Timeout, Chargers, 3:10 left again. Brandon Mebane, who we mentioned earlier, has missed the last 4 games. His infant daughter had a medical issue at birth, had emergency surgery. The Chargers organization was extraordinary. Take as much time as you need. The Spanoses gave him the opportunity to take a private plane to get back to his family. There's still a long road for his daughter, but Mebane is back with the team tonight. A great defensive season from the veteran. Inspirational to this team that he returned. Comes up with a big play that sets up 4th down.
And our thoughts and prayers continue to stay with the family as they continue to work through the situation. But it was great to hear the Chargers players talk about what it was like having him back when he went into the locker room and the excitement to see him back on the field.
Punch coming up. We'll be right back. All right, 2 timeouts left for the Chargers. 3:12 to go. Sam Cook with no room behind him. And you weren't thrilled, by the way, about the 3rd down call.
I was not, because it just limits your options. Really, when you roll out, you really have one chance, one receiver that you can throw to if you're Lamar Jackson. You can't hold it and try to throw it back across the field. So really limited their opportunities to pick up that first down.
Desmond King has a punt return for touchdown earlier this year against Pittsburgh. Sam Cook drills it. Terrific kick with space for the 37. Here is King setting up blocks up the middle of the field. King inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Best special teams moment for the Chargers, gives them a chance. Tonight, after the postgame, NFL Total Access will wrap it up. Extended highlights, the analysis. Total Access after the postgame on NFL Network. Kurt Warner, you've been in this situation a ton of times. Tell me what's going on with Philip Rivers right now.
Well, sometimes you just don't come out with your best stuff, Mike. Philip hasn't played his best game tonight. But all you ask is, give me the ball, 1 possession game, and give me a chance to win this thing. It's exactly where Philip Rivers is right now.
They have one in come from behind fashion at Pittsburgh. and to Kansas City in prime time in the last 3 games. Can they do it again? They'll start with a run with Gordon. Hits it hard to the left to the 31, but there is that flag down where the hole opened up. This one's coming back.
Holding offense, number 76. Carry-on penalty, replay, first down.
It's Russell Okung for the 2nd time tonight.
Just going to see him right here on this side on the run as it breaks back to the outside. So tough on an offensive lineman, and the ball goes back there and the defender tries to move to that side. You see him reach up with that left hand and pull down on Suggs.
Chargers penalties have been an issue tonight. Slightly above their average, but the time that they've been occurring has been so damaging to Los Angeles. 1st and 20. Tyrell Williams, the motion. Rivers to the middle. Caught by Gates. Antonio Gates lost the football on the way down. And the Ravens have it. Tavon Young is down the sideline. And Young will go the distance for the touchdown. Was Gates down? That's the question. And everybody's looking back at that spot. The officials are talking as they walk back to the spot. Patrick Owasso pulled it out. Is Gates down first? Everybody looking at this. Ooh, that's so close. Looks like the first body part that's down is the right knee. Is the ball punched first?
Wow. I would say that's out, Mike.
Let's get the call on the field first. I didn't see anybody go up with a touchdown signal, so we still need to hear the call on the field first, which is important, one, to establish what it is if there's not 100% evidence. And Dean Blandino is going to be looking with us in Los Angeles at these replays. It looks out, it feels out on that first look. But let's hear the call on the field first before we go anywhere else. Clete Blakeman just broke out of the conference with 4 other officials. And all eyes right now are on those 4 guys, and the 3 having a conversation. What's going to be the call on the field? Because that's the basis we then go to replay to determine.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play is a touchdown.
All right, it is called a touchdown for Young for the moment. It certainly will be reviewed, and we'll bring in the best. Dean Blandino, what you see, man?
Yeah, this is really close. It's going to be the right knee. Does the right knee hit before the ball is punched loose? To me, this does look like a fumble. It's very close. They should review it, but I don't see enough to change this to down by contact.
And Dean, it's so significant. The call on the field was touchdown. That's why I was waiting on that before we brought you in, because the evidence has to say against touchdown and fumble. And you're looking
exactly
at the right. You're looking at the right knee or the left knee, Dean, when you watch this.
I'm looking. They're both. It's almost simultaneous.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the right knee first, and it looks like just before the knee touches, the ball is knocked loose.
Antonio Gates, thanks, Dean. Antonio Gates, as good a career as you could find here. So many big moments with Rivers over the years. The Ravens are going to line up to go for 2 here, 22-10, as the review has upheld it quickly in New York. All scoring plays looked at, and they say it's good to go. So they go for 2 for a 14-point lead. And Gus Edwards is stopped inside, so it remains 22-10. Tavon Young, the 3rd-year man out of Temple, scoops it up. Owasso's had a fabulous game tonight, knocks it out. So if the Ravens now can hold on, can the Chargers score 13 on this defense in 2 minutes and 40 seconds? Well, the Ravens could win the North if they win next week against Cleveland and the Steelers lose 1 of their last 2. Pittsburgh takes on New Orleans tomorrow. The Chargers, obviously, their hopes for the West take a massive blow if they can't come back.
Well, we talked about the identity of this Ravens team. It's all about the defense. Trust in the defense to make a play there when they punted it back to Phillip Rivers. And once again, we've seen it over and over this year. Do what you do offensively. You don't have to force anything. Don't make a mistake. Put it in the defense's hands, and they come up with a huge play again.
If this holds up, Kansas City fans who are watching, if their Chiefs win on Sunday Night Football in Seattle, they would clinch the division in the first-round bye with a victory and could be alive for the #1 seed, depending on what Houston does during the afternoon against Philadelphia in the early window. The fumble again. It's close, but I agree with Dean. It was out.
If you see from the other angle, the punch in there that hits the football, you can see it right here. Just starts to move before that right knee touches. Man, now if you're Philip Rivers, you really got to push the envelope here, right? Knowing you're down 12, not much time to go. You can't dink and dunk it. Got to take some shots down the field, which is exactly what this Ravens defense wants you to do.
There's 2:40, so it's 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. It's a lot to ask, but it is possible for Rivers. Can they hit a big play? It'll begin with something short. Eric Weddle with a tackle on Keenan Allen. It'll be marked at the 33-yard line, 2.5 to go.
And that's what the Ravens want. Throw it into the middle of the field. We're going to come up and make the tackle. Just can't give them anything where the Chargers get behind them.
So it's the urgency and emotion has been taken out of the Chargers here. A lethargic getting going one more time after that first one. To the 39-yard line, the first down. See if they can get one more play before the 2-minute warning. Allen back-to-back receptions. Mike Williams, beg your pardon. They do not get the play off before the 2-minute warning, and Rivers is hot. 2 minutes left, and the Ravens closing in on a huge road win. Chris Rose, Steve Smith Sr., Michael Irvin, LaDainian Tomlinson standing by for the U.S. Army postgame. You see the stuff the guys will talk about from here at the StubHub Center. First primetime NFL game from this building, which will have a new name next Tuesday. It becomes Dignity Health Sports Park on January 1st. First and 10 from the 4. 2 minutes, 2 timeouts, even a dozen points. Rivers complete to Allen in the middle. Slung down at the 42 by Jimmy Smith. 1:50 to go.
That's the kind of play you needed. Ravens going to come with a blitz and leave man-to-man on the outside with a big throw is what the Chargers need to do.
5-man rush. Rivers fires sideline, incomplete. It was intended for Tyrell Williams. 1:37 to go. Got a score. Get the 2-point conversion. No field goal options available here, so we're going to have to take some end zone shots here soon. Again, a little more yards to take those end zone shots, but time is of the essence.
Sometimes incompletion isn't a bad thing. 2-minute drive, right? You can get guys lined up and call one of those plays to get a chunk throw or maybe even a double move to get a play over the top.
Weddle playing free safety back there. Rivers trying to throw that way, incomplete. Travis Benjamin nowhere near it. Third down coming up, minute 31 left. This Charger team that has been so hot, as we said earlier, open 1-2. They've won 10 of their last 11. And coming into the week with all the conversation off the Kansas City win, you were thinking the road to the Super Bowl might go through Carson, California. Nobody would have thought that. But now you're looking at, if this doesn't flip, a Kansas City win, and the Chargers are going to be locked into that number 5 seed and be on the road wild card weekend.
Hey, go hammer, stay hammer.
Not giving up yet is Rivers. Going to take that shot downfield into coverage. It is intercepted. Ball comes out at the end. They say Marlon Humphrey has the pick. And then the ball came out. And this Ravens defense comes up with turnover 3. They have 4 sacks. They have a score. They have a win.
And you're Philip Rivers, you got to take a shot at some point to try to get a quick one. Tough to put it in between 2 defenders. A little bit farther outside, but nice job tracking the football by Humphrey. We just see just a post move here, trying to grab the safety with the inside route and go one-on-one, and they got what they wanted. Just a good play on the defensive side. And we said this Ravens defense was so good, but the one thing they hadn't done all year was take the ball away. Well, tonight, we've seen that 3 times, and all of them have been huge.
Confirmed. Picture that other teams do not want to see in the playoffs if they make it there. Minute 20 to go. Gus Edwards a run, a first down and more. Edwards the 42-yard line. Kurt, we talked about the Bears. Oh boy, their defense is really good. Hey, I don't want to ever see the defense from Dallas after they come up with one of their top efforts a couple of weeks ago, right? All that conversation. Tennessee on before us. Boy, their defense is really good. You tell me. Anybody better than that defense over there in Baltimore?
And we always say, come playoff time, if you have to travel, you got to be able to pack a defense and a run game. And is there anybody better in the league that can run the football and play defense like these guys? Nobody is going to want to see these guys come playoff time.
It will stop Rivers' 27 consecutive game streak with a touchdown pass, which was his franchise record. And John Harbaugh, it surprised the folks in the Ravens organization when the news came out at 7 o'clock last night that John Harbaugh, they were going to honor his 2019 season on his contract, and they're working on an extension. And he knows it's a sweet moment for Eric Weddle to beat the Chargers after their acrimonious divorce.
It surprised us.
Yes.
We were out of our production meeting 5 minutes from Coach Harbaugh when we found out. But I tell you what, these players love John Harbaugh and what he brings and his mentality. So what a huge couple of days for them.
I mean, those guys are acting like they won a playoff game. It felt like a playoff game. There's still work to do, but Lamar Jackson gets another win. The Baltimore Ravens are doing it in a different way from everyone else in the National Football League. But what they're doing is pretty impressive.
Great job.
The Chargers will close at Denver. The game might not have any significance if Kansas City gets their victory. Weddle will greet some of his former teammates. The Ravens will play Cleveland in a game that could have much significance on Sunday, 8 days from now in Maryland. Been a pleasure, pal.
Been a pleasure. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too, partner. With Kurt Warner, Peter Schrager, our entire team, Mike Tirico. So long from Carson. Final score, Ravens 22, Chargers 10. We'll send you to the U.S. Army postgame show right after these messages.